All right, so we're diving deep today. You ready?
Ready to dive.
Into Matt Lucas's weight loss journey. You want to know, like, what made him do it, how he did it, and how people felt about it.
It's a fascinating story, isn't it?
Yeah, we've got all these articles here from People Wales Online, The Express, The Daily Record, OK Magazine, and...
Hello.
Wow, quite the collection.
Yeah, a real media buffet, right?
Definitely. Gives us lots to dig into.
So you know Matt Lucas, right?
Of course, Little Britain, Come Fly With Me, Doctor Who.
And Bake Off, of course.
That's right, Bake Off is where I think a lot of people really started to notice the change.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's unpack this.
Yeah.
What really got to me was like reading about how his family history like really played a big part in this. It wasn't just some, abstract health thing. It was really personal. His dad died at 52, his grandfather at 56.
That's young.
And Lucas was hitting 50, so...
It makes you think, doesn't it?
Yeah, big time. And the Express had this interview with him when he turned 50, and he said, I was looking at the law of averages here.
Wow. Powerful statement. Right, like he was really facing his own mortality.
And that's a powerful motivator, right?
Yeah.
It's not just about vanity or fitting into a certain size. It's about wanting to be around for the people you love.
Yeah, reading about his dad passing away so young really hit me. It just makes you realize, how precious time is and like how we often take it for granted.
Absolutely. We get so caught up in the day-to-day that we forget to appreciate the big picture.
He also mentioned feeling uncomfortable on screen, especially in Bake Off. He even joked about like walking out of the tent one day wearing the entire structure because he was eating so much of the contestants' creations.
Oh, I remember that.
It was pretty funny.
It is funny, but it also highlights the psychological aspect of weight, right? It's not just about physical health, it's about how you feel in your own skin.
So true. There's so much more to it than just the number on the scale.
Right. There's a growing body of research that shows the link between weight and mental health, particularly self-esteem and body image.
Makes sense. It's not just about how you look, it's about how you feel.
Exactly. And that can have a huge impact on your overall well-being.
Okay, so how did he actually lose the weight? This is where it gets interesting because there were no crazy diets, no fads, no surgery. It was a really simple approach.
Yeah, he kept it pretty straightforward.
Yeah, he focused on walking, which is great because it's something almost anyone can do.
Totally accessible.
And Wales Online said that he loves canal walks both alone and with friends.
Oh, that sounds lovely.
Right. Fresh air exercise and social connection all in one.
Exactly. It's a win-win-win.
And I think that's a key element of sustainable weight loss, right? Finding activities that you genuinely enjoy so it doesn't feel like a chore.
Absolutely. It has to be something you can stick with long-term.
He also talked about cutting back on food, specifically roast potatoes. He said he kind of developed a lockdown obsession with them.
Oh, those are hard to resist.
But here's the thing. He still enjoys sweets in moderation. He's not depriving himself.
And that's so important. It's about finding a balance, not about restriction.
Totally. And his housemate at the time was a personal trainer.
Oh, wow. Talk about a lucky break.
Right. Having that kind of support can make a world of difference.
For sure. Accountability and guidance can be game changers.
Speaking of support, let's talk about the public reaction because this is where things take a bit of an unexpected turn. Matt Lucas actually experienced thin shaming.
Thin shaming? Wow, I hadn't really considered that.
Me neither. It's not something you hear about very often.
No, not at all.
But it's a real thing, and it just shows how complex and often contradictory our societal beauty standards are.
Right. We put so much pressure on people to conform to a certain ideal, and then when they do, we criticize them for it.
It's like you can't win.
Exactly. It's a no-win situation.
He even tweeted about someone telling him he looked older after losing weight.
Oh, wow, that's harsh.
I know, right? Like, thanks, but no thanks.
It's almost like a backhanded compliment, isn't it?
Totally. You look great, but older.
It highlights the fact that you can't please everyone, and maybe you shouldn't try to.
Good point. Perhaps the real goal is to find a level of health and well-being that works for you, not for the critics.
Exactly. It's about what feels good and sustainable for you in the long run.
Okay, so what were the results of all these lifestyle changes? Well, he said he went from like an XXL or even XXXL down to a medium.
That's quite a change.
Yeah, pretty significant, right?
Yeah, definitely. But what I found interesting was that he said he still has a bit of a tum. He doesn't want to be super skinny.
Yeah, I like that too. It's like a good reminder that health isn't one size fits all.
Exactly. It's about finding what works for you and your body.
And he said he's still working on his fitness, so it sounds like he's in it for the long haul.
It's a journey, right? Not a destination.
Totally. But this whole thing has really gotten me thinking about the pressure we all face to look a certain way. It's like everywhere you look, social media, magazines, TV.
It's relentless, isn't it?
It is. And it makes you wonder, like, is all this focus on appearance actually healthy?
That's the big question, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
What happened to just being comfortable in your own skin?
Right. Like, whatever happened to that?
I think we need to shift the focus from appearance to well-being.
What do you mean?
Like, how do you feel? Do you have energy? Are you taking care of your mental health? Those are the things that really matter.
That's a good point.
Oh.
Those are the things that contribute to a long and happy life.
Exactly. It's about feeling good from the inside out, not trying to fit some external mold.
And it makes me think about how we talk to ourselves. Are we constantly criticizing our bodies, or are we practicing self-compassion?
Oh, that's so important. We tend to be our own worst critics.
Ugh, so true.
And that negative self-talk can really sabotage our efforts to make positive changes.
It's like we're working against ourselves.
Exactly. We need to be kinder to ourselves, celebrate our progress, and focus on what our bodies can do rather than how they look.
So true. It's not about achieving some ideal image. It's about appreciating and taking care of the amazing bodies we have.
Well said.
But, you know, Matt Lucas's story also highlights the fact that you don't have to do it alone.
Absolutely. Having a support system can make a world of difference.
He had his housemate, who is a personal trainer.
Talk about a built-in support system. That's incredible.
Right. But even if you don't have a personal trainer living with you, there are still resources available like therapists, nutritionists, support groups.
And even just a close friend who can hold you accountable.
Yeah, just having someone to talk to who understands can be so helpful.
It can make you feel less alone.
Yeah.
You know? Like, you're not the only one going through this.
And just hearing someone else's story can be so inspiring, right?
Definitely. It can give you hope and motivation to keep going.
It makes it feel less daunting, you know? Like, if they can do it, maybe I can too.
Exactly. It normalizes the struggles and makes it feel more achievable.
So what do you think this whole experience has taught Matt Lucas about himself? It couldn't have been easy.
I think he's talked about feeling more energetic and confident,
Yeah, I read that too.
which are amazing benefits, right? Definitely. But I also think it's forced him to confront societal expectations and really define what health and well-being mean to him personally.
That's a good point. It's about taking ownership of your health and doing what feels right for you, not for the critics or the Instagram influencers.
Absolutely. It's about tuning out the noise and finding your own path.
And it sounds like he's found a really balanced approach to food and exercise.
He has. He's not restricting himself, but he's making conscious choices that support his well-being.
He's found that sweet spot, right?
He has. And that's the key. It's about finding your sweet spot. What works for one person might not work for another. It's about personalizing your approach and finding what makes you feel your best.
So true. Okay, so let's get back to his story. What are some key takeaways that we can all apply to our own lives?
Well, his focus on sustainable change is so important. He didn't do some crash diet or extreme workout regimen. He made gradual adjustments to his lifestyle that he could maintain over time.
Small, consistent changes, right?
Exactly. It's not about overnight transformations. It's about creating healthy habits that you can stick with.
Those small changes really add up over time.
They do.
Yeah.
And I love that he found joy in movement. He didn't force himself to do exercises he hated. He chose activities he actually enjoyed.
Like those canal walks. It makes you realize that exercise doesn't have to be a chore.
Right. It can be something you look forward to.
And his honesty about still enjoying treats in moderation is so refreshing. It's like you don't have to deprive yourself to be healthy.
Exactly. It's about finding a balance that works for you.
You can have your cake and eat it too, as long as you're mindful and make healthy choices most of the time.
Well said.
But his story also highlights the importance of having a support system, right?
Yeah.
Having people in your corner who can encourage you and keep you accountable.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Having that support network can make all the difference.
It can be the difference between giving up and pushing through when things get tough.
And sometimes just knowing that someone else has been through a similar experience can be incredibly validating.
It makes you feel less alone, less like you're the only one struggling.
Exactly. It normalizes the experience and makes it feel less daunting.
So if you're feeling inspired by Matt Lucas's story and want to make some changes in your own life, what's one small step you can take today?
That's a great question. It could be as simple as going for a walk, trying a new healthy recipe, or reaching out to a friend for support.
Or even just acknowledging your own progress and celebrating the wins, big or small.
Yes. Every step forward is a victory.
What resonates most with you about Matt Lucas's journey?
For me, it's his emphasis on finding what works for you, not trying to fit into someone else's mold.
Yeah, I love that. It's about honoring your own individuality and creating a path that feels authentic and sustainable.
Exactly. It's your journey, not anyone else's.
And it's about recognizing that health is a journey, not a destination. There will be ups and downs, but it's about keeping moving forward in a way that feels supportive and empowering.
Beautifully said. And I think that's a perfect place to wrap up this part of our deep dive. We'll be back shortly to finish up and leave you with some final thoughts to ponder.
Back again, still diving deep into Matt Lucas's weight loss.
Really makes you think about how we all approach this whole health and well-being thing.
Yeah, for sure. So easy to get caught up in those extremes, you know?
Yeah.
The quick fixes, the all or nothing stuff.
But Matt Lucas kind of shows us that real change comes from a more balanced way of doing things.
He figured out how to make healthy choices without, like punishing himself.
Yeah, and without turning his whole life upside down.
And I think that's something we can all take away from this.
Definitely. It's about making those changes but keeping it real.
Like finding that sweet spot, right?
Exactly. It's different for everyone.
It's not a one-size-fits-all kind of thing.
Nope. It's about finding what fits into your life, your preferences, your goals.
Your own personal sweet spot.
Exactly.
And it's gotta be kind to yourself along the way.
Oh, for sure.
Because there will be bumps in the road.
There always are.
It's not about being perfect.
It's about making progress.
So as we're wrapping up this deep dive, what's your biggest takeaway from Matt Lucas's story?
For me, it's the power of those small changes.
Yeah.
He didn't just flip a switch and overhaul everything overnight. He made those little adjustments to his eating and exercise and made them stick.
It's those healthy habits that you can keep up over time.
Exactly. It's not about deprivation or punishment. It's about making choices that you can live with.
And I really admire that he didn't let fear of judgment stop him.
Yeah, he knew people might criticize him, but he chose to take care of himself anyway.
He just tuned it all out and focused on what was important to him.
A good lesson for all of us.
Definitely.
Right.
We can't control what other people think, but we can control our own choices.
Our own actions.
And we can choose to put our well-being first no matter what anyone else says.
Well said.
So to our listener, if you're feeling inspired by Matt Lucas's story, what's one small change you can make today to get closer to your goals?
Maybe it's a walk, a healthy meal, or calling a friend for support.
Or even just taking a minute to appreciate how far you've come already.
Every step matters.
And remember, you don't have to do it alone.
There are people who care and resources to help.
Matt Lucas's story reminds us that change is possible.
That taking care of yourself is a form of self-love.
And that health is within reach for all of us.
Thanks for diving deep with us today.
We hope this has given you some things to think about and maybe even inspired you to start your own journey of transformation.
Until next time. Keep exploring, keep learning, and keep diving deep.